So it's time for the last part on our series on designing a scenario for Zombicide. So in this tutorial, we are going to have a look at how to add lights and shadows to create a mood. And that's what lights and shadows do. So we're going to change the environment a bit. And my intention here is to create a sense of sickness, if you will. So I decided to go with a green mood, which conveys sickness, in my opinion. And I went to DeviantArt to find a reference by Miguel Lieras here, and I'm going to use this image as an inspiration for what I'm going to try to achieve. So we are going to delete all the lighting in this scene, so get rid of the sun lamp and get rid of the environment in the properties section by removing the background. So we are going to create a new background, but not a white one, but one. I'm going to use the color picker and find the midtone in this picture. So it should be either here. So let's try to find correct color, this one, and I'm going to lighten it a bit until I get roughly the same effect. Okay. So now I'm going to add my first lights. On this cell, I'm going to add a torch. So add a light above this cell here. Crank up its power, maybe even more. Okay. And change its color to this. Okay, and click again to apply. All right. Okay, I'm going to add another light on the same cell and make it closer to the ground, like so, and reduce its strength by 2/3 approximately. Okay, and change its color to yellow and click again to apply. All right, now I'm going to select both these lamps, press Ctrl G and name them torchlight. Okay. Now let's move this torch closer to the wall. All right. And add some other at various spots on my board. Right, Shift A, torchlight, and Shift R. Sorry, what happened here? Well, torchlight, and one more, let's say here. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to add lighting in all my rooms. So I'm going to click on this cell, add a light, and this time I am going to choose a brighter green. So that's my room. Okay, good. All right. Okay, well, so I'm going to select this lamp, and as you can see, I changed my layout for this part. So here I opened a node editor and enabled used nodes, and I'm going to use the node editor to change the behavior of this lamp. It naturally has a fall off, that is to say, it fades off depending on the distance, and I'm going to change that and make it constant by dragging the constant output to the strength input of the emission node. And like so, the lamp won't have a fall off, so it's constant in all the room. Okay, so now I'm going to Shift D to copy this lamp and move it here. But as you can see, there's a weird behavior with this material, so I'm gonna move it to this corner so it makes the whole room greenish. I can change the color a bit, either by going into the properties window here and clicking on the lamp properties, and maybe change the hue a bit, like so. Okay, Shift D this lamp here, and as you can see, different materials react differently to the light I add. So this one, I'm going to increase its strength. It's a bit of a trial and error process, okay? And make it yellower, closer to yellow, and so on and so forth. Take this one. Okay. And this one. All right, for this one, I'm going to use a bluish color, closer to blue anyway, and keep going. And let's have a look at what we did. And now that I look at it, I'm not satisfied with the background. I'm going to make it And that's better. Okay, so now we have the basic lighting setup, and I'm going to add more highlights to this scene by adding window projections and shadows. So let's start by adding a shadow. I'm going to add a lamp right here on this cell, make it blue like this, okay, and crank it up quite a lot. All right, take this light, move it outside the scene like so, right click here, press Shift A, mesh images as planes. So I'm going to add an image, and for that you need to enable the images as planes add-on in the user preferences of the file menu. So I just scanned Necromancer from my game, and in GIMP made it a decal. So I'm going to choose this image. And now it's just a matter of scaling this image. So I'm going to enter edit mode, scale, here, rotate 90 degrees so it faces the lamp. All right, and now I'm going to adjust this until I get a shadow here of my Necromancer. I'm going to make it a little bigger, like so. Less. And here we are. And a bit bigger. Too much. You see, as I told you, it's a trial and error thing. Okay, that looks good. I'm just going to move the image outside the scene so it doesn't get printed. All right, that's for a shadow. Now I'm going to project window lights in this room. So I'm going to select this cell and click here, for instance, and look for an image of a window. As you can see, I made a few images, and I'm going to select this one. And click Add a projector. So I'm going to increase the strength of this projector until we actually see something. Okay, and I'm going to reduce the scale. And rotate this 90 degrees minus. Okay, now I'm going to move it on the Z-axis and increase its strength again by 2, and now I have my window projector. Um, I'm going to change the scale here. On the y-axis to make it more distorted, like so. Okay, and move the window here, maybe less. .5. Okay, very good. And now I can just copy and paste by using Shift-D to copy this spotlight. Or rather, we are going to use Alt-D to make the copy linked to the original. So if we make changes to the first spotlight, all the other spotlights will be modified according to the changes we made. So on Y and by 50. Okay. Alt-D on Y 50. Alt-D on Y 50. And now we've added windows to this room. And I'm going to move them all . Okay. Right. Okay, so now for this room, I'm going to show you how I made the image I used as a projector here. So I'm going to open a stained glass window image. So that's the one I changed, but I'm going to use another one, like this one, for instance. So I'm going to open it. Right, and add a projector. Oops, sorry. That's this one. So this image is a little bit too bright and it doesn't fit the colors we've decided to apply. So we are going to alter this image in GIMP. So you can just click on image right here, open this image in an image editor, and then click edit externally. But for it to work, you first have to go into File, User Preferences, and in the File tab, make sure find gimp.exe on your hard drive if you're using Windows, and click Save User Settings. So now if I click Image Edit Externally, it's going to open this image in GIMP. So now that we are in GIMP, I'm going first of all to increase the canvas size in image canvas size and make it a little bit bigger so we can work with it comfortably. Okay, I'm going to zoom out and now click M to move this image to the center. Okay, I'm going to add a new layer here, move it at the bottom and fill it with the bucket tool right here with black. Okay, now here I'm going to select the background with the color selection tool, click here on the background and use the threshold slider until there are no dots here. So now that I've selected the background, I'm going to click on Select Invert to select the glass. Press Ctrl C and press Ctrl V and make it a new layer like so, and now delete this one. And here we are. Now we are sure that the background is completely black. So now that it's done, I'm going to desaturate this image to make it black and white. So I'm going to Colors, Desaturate, Color to Gray. And done. I'm going to add a new layer on top. Okay. Go find the color I want in Blender. So that was this one. Okay. Go back to GIMP. So it picked the right color. And with the bucket tool, I'm going to fill that layer with that color and just change the mode, the layer mode, to multiply. And now we have a blue stained glass, as if the moonlight was being projected through it. It's almost perfect. So I'm just going to merge all visible layers by right-clicking any layer. Click Merge. All right. And the last step is going to shear with the shear tool. So I'm going to shift-click anywhere and shear that window like so. And hit Enter to apply. Now we can just export, save this image, save as, and just replace the previous image, file export as, and replace the stained glass image, which should be here, okay, and click export, and it will replace it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use it on in a new folder. Okay. And now in Blender, all we have to do is click Image, Reload Image, or Replace Image. And I'm going to find the image I just created, this one. And here is our stained glass. So now it's just a matter of adjusting this projector to fit our needs. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. Okay, rotate it on Z 90 degrees minus. All right. Move it up. Up, up, up. Okay, and multiply it by 4. And here we have it. So we have a scale problem. So I'm going to change that by increasing or decreasing. Increasing the scale on X. And that's okay. So I'm going to move it up again. like so, and multiply by 4 again. Let's have a look. Too much. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that. And one last thing we could do, if we have a look at our board, is, for instance, use a projector where here, and add some flames here. Okay, I'm going to move it up. Oops, just this one. Like so. Okay. Increase its blend in the properties window, increase its strength. Again. Like so. And now we have a fire starting in a corner. I'm just rotating the spot so the fire is in the corner. So now it's just a matter of exporting, printing our board. So I'm going to close the lights and shadows section in the CBG boards add-on, and I'm going to go into the printing operations, but first of all I'm going to save this as a new file. So now I'm ready to export everything. So remember, my A4 paper, I need 6 A4 papers for this. You can go back to the first video to see how I determined that ratio. So I'm going to start here, okay, and click Assemble Selection. All right, now select the quality I want. Usually 4K is too much. 1K sometimes is enough, sometimes isn't. So I'm going to use 2K, and I'm going to leave this unticked. And once I'm ready, I'm going to click on Bake Textures and wait for the magic to happen, and I'll see you afterwards. And here is the result after 5 minutes of baking. So I'm going to export this using the paper model add-on. So just click Export. Choose a folder. Okay, that's my various tests. And I'm going to name it board 1 and change the settings here. So A4, okay. We don't need all this. We're going to change textures from no texture to from materials, and change the resolution to 300 dpi, which is the common printing quality. I'm going to get rid of all the lines, make everything 0, and click Export Paper Model. Here we are. Okay, let's move on. So I'm going to click Reset and select, make sure nothing else is selected by double pressing A. And I'm going to select this part of the board and do the same thing, assemble selection and bake textures. And so on and so forth until all the boards are baked. Repeat the same process for the 6 parts, here, 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 and here. Okay, so that was a good overview of what you can do using lights and shadows. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you next time.